Hi, welcome to Free Spirit and welcome to, this is going to be a really long, informative video that I actually have been asked to do for quite a while. And to be honest, I haven't even approached it because I was like, how can I even do this? Because it encompasses so much. It keeps coming up in the comments to do this, and it just came up again. And what I find so fitting, I just have to say, by the way, I wrote it out, what I'm going to cover, and I'll put the cheat sheet like in the description box of the video. We're going to cover a lot, and it's actually bringing up so much for me. And part of my voice, because I have been sick for 2 weeks now, and one of the weeks I lost my voice. And why I'm sharing this is, well, one, if my voice gives out during the video, you know, but also how fitting that I just got my voice back, and this morning the comment came up again and I knew immediately how to voice this. Immediately it just streamed all onto the paper. I know what I want to convey on this video, and I'm so excited about it, because if I never do another video again, this is like the most meaningful thing I could possibly put in Spirit Tip and share. And also, what's so fitting, divine timing, I just realized it is 11/11 today. It's November 11th, 11/11, and a bird just flew by, that I got my voice back today. I can answer and do this video today. It's 11/11, and how fitting, because the subject is literally what I was just asked in the comments again this morning. And then all of a sudden it came to me how I can put this all in a video. How to do a tarot and oracle card reading in the tone of spirit, in the tone of divine, in the tone of pure love for yourself and others. So I get this a lot, and it is very hard to put this all into one video, but I have done it, and I will take all the time it takes to explain this. And if you have any questions, feel free to, ask me in the comments. And that goes for any video. You ever have a question? I don't claim to be an expert. I just share freely what sincerely, honestly has worked for me. And more than that, and where I'm getting tears in my eyes, I would not be here today without it. I would not be here today. It was funny, just recently in the comments, people know I created the free spirit cards, the 10 decks, and I do readings with them on the channel. And for a blip in time, I offered them, and people were buying them, and I wasn't doing it anymore. I'm not doing it anymore. But I confided to I think it was Missy Lucy. I said, to be honest with you, she was trying to help me to get it published again. I said, to be honest with you, I don't miss that they're not available. And I'll share with you why. I'm going to get very intimate on this video, because those decks were so real, filled with such real love from me, that got me through to here, to right now in my life. I would not be here with what was in those decks. So it wasn't even, I don't think I was in the right frame to even receive criticism, the slight criticism. I told her, I don't miss that, like the slight criticism of my decks. Like I would kid around on the channel, the decks are my babies. But more than that, what's in them, I would not be here. And I don't mean here like on a channel, or I mean be here on this planet and this earth without receiving that love, support, guidance my whole life. So when people ask me about tarot and oracle card readings, I did not start out learning meanings and doing tarot and oracle card readings. No, as a kid, I was receiving spirit messages. I was, what I didn't have the words for, I was clairvoyant, I was clairsentient, I was clairaudient. Definitely clairaudient. I was auto writing all the time, messages that were way beyond my years. It did not land here. It was not accepted here. It was not, I still don't have that approval. You don't get that recognition for those kind of gifts here on this planet, which is ironic. But clairaudient, clairsentient, clairvoyant. But what it was growing up was pure hell. So I also want to convey, which I'm so grateful for those that when I was growing up, I would, of course, listen to and watch and listen to all these spiritual teachers and advisors or psychics or mediums or whatever label they had at the time. They did not have it easy. They usually felt like they were in pure, I felt I was in pure hell. I'm sharing all this because there's some kind of, you're not alone in that. Like if your life experience was particularly hellish and it was almost overwhelming because you didn't even have the tools to get through your life, because it was a bombardment of all your clairs wide open, not appropriate boundaries, and also in very difficult life situations. So to say I experienced pure hell without getting into and suffering and loss and and then everything else, hearing spirit, feeling spirit was my saving grace. So when I kid around and say I was raised by spirit, and no discredit to my parents, but I felt very much raised by spirit, meaning many of my life experiences, I was alone. I was overwhelmed. I was feeling all these things. I felt left in hell, quote unquote. I felt like this was hell when people talk about heaven and hell, that this itself was hell. And so when I say that I would not be here without it, it was my love, support, backing. I don't use those words lightly. I know I do videos and I make it light and everything, but in a very real sense, in a very practical, real sense, it was everyday love, support, backing, guidance. And over the years, I learned how to decipher, and it's different for everybody, the love, support, backing that you receive in your life, to, as much as you hate your clairs sometimes because they make you more vulnerable, more open, how they truly are your gifts. Why I'm going to share everything about tarot and oracle card reading, what I want to share. You have this connection with or without cards. And so that connection came first for me. So the spirit messages came first, and I have chills from my head to my toes. That reality of living with spirit, the spirit guidance, love, support, backing with the signs, symbols, messages, hearing spirit, feeling them with me. Not 24/7, mind you, not like a booming voice, but I would hear the guidance, I would receive it. I always had one ear open, one eye open. I felt very much guided. I felt that love, support, backing. That came first. So when you're asking me how to do a tarot and oracle card reading in the tone of spirit, divine, pure love, no, with or without cards, that's what you have. And I always say doing readings enhances those tools for your everyday. In fact, I'm gonna give you the end of this video, what they put at the end in the beginning, so you even get the gravity and the importance of what I'm sharing with you. So I had that first, and then I learned tarot and oracle in my teenage years and used it. I would say, I don't want to age myself, but 30 plus years I've been receiving and doing readings, and very much guided. Yes, I learned the meanings of tarot and I learned the meanings of oracle, but it was always in the tone of spirit, in the tone of how I was already receiving messages that I do my readings. Always. That was it. So when you're asking me how you can do it connected to divine, pure love, spirit, and I'm going to get into that, what we're talking about when we say that, that comes first, and then you're using the cards, and even without cards you're connected to that, and you should be open to that. But I want to read you the very extra spirit tip for life every day that they ended this whole video with, that I'm going to share with you in the beginning. We're going to do everything that we're going to cover in here, but the extra spirit tip, and I have chills when I say this because this is the truth. You can even look at this new day that you're watching this video, 11/11, by the way, how synchronistic. You can even look at this quote unquote new day as a new spread, and work along with spirit and see all that shows up for you. Signs, symbols, messages, guidance, and love that appears in all forms. All that happens and all that can be received and done. Did you just hear the honk? It's amazing. Well beyond just reading with cards, but use and live your life in this way as well. Open to receive, open to be guided, receive guidance, receive love, receive support, and use all you're getting for the great good for yourself and others. And I have chills when I say that. That comes first. And you do that in your life anyway, whether you give spirit credit or not, I just want to say. So now let's get to the subject that everybody asks me for, that I finally feel like I can cover, and literally just came through this morning. How to do a tarot and oracle card reading in the tone of spirit, in the tone of divine, in the tone of pure love for yourself or others. So whether you're doing readings just for yourself or you're doing it for others, this comes up in comments so much. And again, until now, I didn't even know how I could do it justice. And until I feel I can do it justice, I don't do it. And I will be babbling a lot, but I did write a cheat sheet. Look, I emailed myself a cheat sheet, and I'll put in the description box everything I'm talking about. But I will go off a little bit because it is so bringing me all over the place of so much. But I'm going to try my best to put into words here, best I can, to share, because people are always asking how to do readings this way. Literally, do a tarot oracle reading in the tone of spirit, in the tone of divine, in the tone of pure love. So what do I even mean when you're doing readings in the tone of spirit, which is equal to the tone of pure love? That's why I created the Pure Love from Spirit deck. This deck, Pure Love from Spirit, it's not just words. This is pure love from spirit, right? Pure love from spirit. That's what I felt like I was receiving my life, right? So when I put them in the messages on the cards, that was not just so I can create a deck. It was so to make it tangible, I could feel that connection or pull cards in the tone of spirit, quite literally, right? So in the tone of spirit is equal to the tone of pure love, the tone of angels, the tone of archangels, the tone of God, what you believe of when you think of spirit, when you think of all in spirit form, all that you want to connect with for guidance, your spirit guides, loved ones passed on, all those in spirit form that are available to connect with or without the cards. This is what I want to say, with or with, like right now where you're sitting, you are connected right now. They see, they hear, they know, they're sending you signs, they're sending you symbols, they're sending you, everything. People talk about coins and feathers, but this is every day way beyond that. You notice numbers, you notice your song lyric, you notice something showing up in your life, you feel guided, you feel, or you have your clairs wide open and you are getting that clear feeling, clear seeing, clear hearing, all of that. However it comes to you, you're connected with that already. And sometimes we feel it more than others. And I just want to say, sometimes we feel them closer than others. And that does not mean, sometimes we're so consumed with what we need to be focused on in the physical. It's like that's where it's meant to be that way. And then when they'll show up and you'll get signs, symbols, messages, but you're always connected. Don't ever, ever, ever doubt that. Don't ever doubt that. And don't write off. I always say, gather your own spiritual evidence. Do not discount anything you receive directly. Just because someone else hasn't mentioned it yet does not mean you didn't just receive something. You don't have to have someone else validate your experience. There's something about really honoring your direct connection. And that is one thing I always say. You can listen to me, you can listen to whoever. Don't ever take someone else over your own direct divine connection, and don't write off anything you receive directly. It's different for everyone. Like for me, my strength was always clairaudient and clairsentient, almost to the point where it's like you can lighten up on the feeling because it's too much. And other people have different strengths, so you'll find out what works. But okay, this is very important. But you get this even without the cards. So know you're already connected. That's what I want to say. So when you're connecting with cards, you're already connected with what's going to be with you through the reading. So when they're saying like, how can you connect? You're already connected. But I'm going to talk about setting your intention to remain connected and be connected, right? But okay, for those that already hear spirit or feel spirit, like what I was talking about, all the clairs, clairaudient, clairsentient, you're going to know and feel the tone I mean here much more easily. You already know the tone. For those that already hear spirit, feel spirit, receive spirit, you know and feel the tone of spirit that I'm talking about more easily. But it is the tone. I'm going to explain what the tone is, even if you're not clear on that. It is the tone of profound love and compassion to a level you can hardly imagine or contain. It is so much. And that is why we often get chills, we get waves, we get goosebumps, we feel a flooding, but it doesn't last. Which is why if you can tap into as much, it could be cards, it could be the nature, it could be whatever it is for you that connects you, why we need to do it more often, because it is fleeting. We don't contain it. That's why I always say, hold your light. It's not just words. It's light working is 24/7 job. You feel it, you have to hold on to it as much as possible. You know when you need to plug back into divine love or support when you need it, because it's fleeting, right? You can't contain it. It is a tone of profound love and compassion to a level you can hardly imagine or contain. It is so much. It is so much what I'm talking about. Our English words do not give justice when I talk about this. Okay, so how to connect to this and then do your readings in this tone. And why should you? This is the best. Why should you? And it was 1333 when I said, and why should you? 333. Why should you? Because it will feel like you are being bathed in love, compassion, peace, and guidance all at once. All at once. It's going to flood your heart. You're going to feel lifted and uplifted, tears in your eyes. You're going to feel you connected through your energy. It will feel like you're being bathed, quite literally, in love, compassion, peace, and guidance all at once. That is why you should do it like this. And here I'm going to give you tips of what to literally feel. Where are you coming from in a reading? When looking at a card, interpreting the cards, the meanings, how are you translating it all within this tone, from this tone? Profound love, just pure love. Let's start right here. What is this tone if I had to describe it? Like if you did not have your clairs, you don't really feel spirit, you don't feel the tone, you don't understand, you have. I'm going to describe the tone so you know that you have. Pure love and compassion, tone of spirit divine. This is the tone if I had to describe. This is what's so hard, okay? If I had to describe it, imagine, let's start here. Imagine you're viewing someone right now who is literally a piece of you. You love them so much and deeply, and you can see and feel all they see and feel. And you can see and feel them going through all these hard times and troubles, and then also be surrounded by other people who are also hurting them. And then on top of that, they are beating themselves up as they are going through all of this. And you are seeing this and feeling this, what they're going through. And it feels like pure hell. Yes, it feels like pure hell sometimes. And if they could just know how much they are loved, that the situation will soon be over, that they are not alone. This love and compassion is here, that if you think or do or feel this or take this guidance, perhaps your time here may feel a bit better, that we got you. We do. You have love, support, backing here. It's not just you here alone. It's all that and even more. So if you could feel that, that is the tone of spirit, okay? Here is another one. That is the tone. What this tone feels like inside when you feel it. It transforms all energy, and it drenches it all and you with tremendous love. That is why you feel it. Do you hear the honks? You felt it. Love, compassion, understanding, and it's hard to contain for long. Examples of the difference of feeling. Now, how it feels. Imagine you are listening to the most dreary, gray sounds all day. And then all of a sudden, your favorite song in the universe just comes on, blasting forth above all other noise. What do you feel inside when that happens? Lift it up, higher. Or when you feel in such a dark, lonely place and suddenly an energy comes in to lift you up and out, and you suddenly feel like love is both raining down on you and through you all at once. That is what it feels like receiving that level of love. In life, you receive from spirit all the time, whether you give credit or not. All the time. So we got brilliant idea. You probably had somebody whisper it in your brain. You receive it from spirit. Something pops in to uplift your spirit. You get a brilliant idea. You get it whether you give spirit credit or not. I just tend to give spirit the credit. When using cards, you're deliberately connecting to this energy for your reading and messages. So now when you're doing a reading, when you know the meanings, right? And you don't even have to know the meanings. I purposely chose one of these decks where a tarot deck where the messages are right here. So say you're doing that, or you know the meanings of a card. When you're looking at a card and you get what it means, translate it to yourself and receive it in the tone of spirit, in the tone of pure love. So the Ace of Wands is not just the Ace of Wands. The message on the Oracle card is not just the sentence that is on the card, but what is the message in the tone of spirit, in the tone of pure love? How would the message be delivered to you in that tone of pure love? To tap into and feel such great love and compassion, that's what they're saying. Tap into and feel such great love and compassion to a much higher level than you normally embody for yourself and others, and then bring that down and out in your readings. It is literally tapping in higher and doing a reading in the tone of spirit and pure love for yourself and others. So this is not just the Six of Michaels, oh, it's a light at the end of the tunnel, breathe a sigh of relief. No, this is like they understand you have been through it and you are making your way to calmer, smoother waters and times. And there's a level of love and compassion for all that you've been through and all that it's taken, and what a journey this has been, and what that really feels like. And so you're resonating with the tone that they're bringing forth of the messages, right? So, but it's for you to tap in and feel that great love and compassion to a much higher level than you normally embody for yourself and others. And you bring that down and out in your reading. So it's tapping in higher and doing a reading in the tone of spirit, pure love for yourself and others. So when you begin your reading, you literally set your intention that you are wanting to connect to pure love. Your spirit guides, angels, loved ones passed on with pure love divine to bring you the most love, support, backing in the reading, and for clear messages to receive for the good of for yourself and others. Now, I always say I want clear messages, and I'll tell you a secret. If it is not clear to you, put all the cards back in the deck and do it over again, because Spirit wants it to be clear. And what's interesting is you will find similar cards come out. You will understand that they use different cards to bring greater understanding to you. They want you to get it. I did a video one time, like Spirit knows how you read cards. They want you to get the messages, just like in life. If it's not clear to you, you can ask, I want clear messages, guidance, and don't wait for a poof in the next 30 seconds it's going to show up. But I guarantee you within 24 hours, 48 hours, you're going to get an idea. You're going to wake up with some kind of idea or something. You're going to receive something that guides you in the direction. You have love, support, backing in your life, not just with cards. I just want to say. But ask for clear messages to receive. I always ask for that. So I ask to connect with pure love, guidance, love, support, backing. Excuse me. Yeah, my voice is giving out. I told you I'm still recuperating. But for clear messages. And if it's not clear, trust, put all the cards back and wait for, you want clear messages for yourself and others. And be open for the magic, because you will feel the tone coming through. You will hear and sense all the messages coming through and get intuitively exactly what's coming through. And more than that, feel it. And I would say 99% is feeling. And when you're feeling it in your readings are only better, because your feelings and energies combines and makes it even more powerful. It goes and goes and builds and almost climaxes to a big finish finale. You're working with spirit to bring forward messages that help, support, uplift, guide, the love, support, backing, right? You are working with spirit. That is what you should be feeling. You are literally working with spirit to bring forward messages that help, support, uplift, guide, and deliver the love, support, backing, whether it's for yourself or others. Similarly in life, without cards, you also do this in other works. So that is the important message I want to say, and I've done a couple of videos about that. Just like when you're attacking a work or a project or anything else, you are working in tangent with spirit. They will help you with the divine ideas, with the divine guidance of how to be of use for the greater good. When I was younger, I used to work with spirit. It was really funny. I mean, almost to danger meant to myself. So I don't even know why I'm sharing this, but it was almost like very clear, you're of service. And I would wake up like, how am I going to be of service? I mean, I even thought of the divine timing of me just rounding a corner and a tourist or somebody lost asking me for directions. It was like I was at the right divine time and space, and I was very much aware of that, like how you are of service every day. So similarly in life, like you are working with spirit, and that's something I always bring forth in all my readings. Like you are not here alone. You always have this love, support, backing, even when the reading is over. But there's something about this being in your face and tangible. You can drink this in and you feel it. That's why I was guided to tarot and oracle cards. But the spirit connection came first, and then this. Okay, so you are connected to this always, and can always tap in with or without cards to feel this and get this assistant love, support, backing, and use it with cards. Use it in your everyday life, your work, and with all you do. You are always connected this way, and it's always available to you. And it's going to end how it began. Extra spirit tip for life every day. You can even look at this new day today as a new spread, like you would a new spread. When you wake up in the morning, this new day is a new spread, and work along with spirit and see all that shows up for you. Signs, symbols, messages, guidance, love that appears in all forms, all that happens and all that can be received and done. It's amazing. Well beyond just reading with cards, but use and live your life in this way as well. Be open to receive, open to be guided, receive guidance, love, support, and use all you're getting for the greater good for yourself and others. So just like I always say, it's like you get the inspired idea to take action and follow through. The divine is working through you, right? You see that all the time. Lots of people, scientists, artists, they feel divinely guided. Music, you know, some people give credit to it. If you do bios of scientists and creators, they tend to say like the divine was working through them in some way. You know, it's very similar when you're doing a reading. You're connecting with spirit to bring forth love, support, backing, the feeling, the words, the language, the whatever. So when you're doing this, so why I always say why my cards, going back to like the free spirit cards or something, when I put those channeled messages on there, that's more to me than just like words you just write down to describe like a nice day. So when going back to like, this is very meaningful. Like there are almost no words to describe what you're connecting to and what you're trying to bring forth, that you hold in your head and heart for your life. And well beyond the reading, you're connected to it for always. But in this moment of time, you really feel a divine connection, and to feel that from beginning to end. Now, when you're doing a reading, you know, I always say, pick decks that you actually are in your vein. You know, you might not like this deck. Pick decks that have images and messages that are in your vein, so that it opens you up to receive more. This image might bring forth things to you. You will intuitively receive more if you're connecting with the images and the messages. It's in your vein. So it actually propels you or accelerates using all your clairs. What I always say, all your clairs are all your clairvoyant, clairseeing, clairknowing, clairfeeling. That's all it is. People, I'm not stuck on labels. That's another thing. I refuse to label myself. I very frequently even refer to things that people use as labels, because then we put people in a box. You who's listening have every clair. You have every clair. You are born with your connection, all your clairs, everything else. It's just utilizing it more. And in fact, what you don't realize, you use your clairs more than you think. You receive more than you think. You just don't give it credit. You use these clairs even more than your eyes and ears, but you just don't give it credit. And if you start doing it, you say thank you and appreciate it, and you're just more aware that you do. And just like in real life, like you can pick up the energy of a room, just like you're picking up the energy of here. You can pick up what people are really saying underneath what they're saying. You could feel guided to round the corner, even go a block out of your way because you feel guided, but for some reason. You are intuitively picking up all the time and using your clairs all the time. So this is to honor your gifts. And another thing is, like how oh my God, it's going to make me tear up. It's going to make me tear up. How I began, like how my life was hellish, and how I that's why this means so much to me. But at the same time, it's like, to know that your hell actually was part of your gifts all along in a way. Like you wouldn't want to cut off any of your limbs, like any of your feeling, any of what you're tapped into, which may make life harder at times. I say the majority of the people on the channel, we have words for that. You're sensitive, you're empathic, you're clairvoyant, wherever the labels are, your life tends to be very difficult, very hard. You feel everything. You might have a lot of anxiety. You might experience highs and lows. You may feel like your journey has been so ultra difficult because it was the extreme lows brings you the extreme highs. It's like, gosh, and then everything that you've been through is used. And they always told me that it's used, So if you were to the depth of hell, imagine the level of compassion that you have for someone. Imagine the sight that you're seeing people or hearing them, the level in which you can be empathetic, the level of how that feels. I'm going to cry. That's what I'm saying. So you want to do things in the tone of spirit, pure love. You're bringing everything you've ever lived to, the depths of the highs and lows, the level of love and compassion, and you're definitely tapping in higher and bringing that down and hoping that it's conveyed. And a lot of the times you're not going to feel like you did it justice, because our words in the English language don't have the words. A lot of it, I feel, doesn't give it justice. How do you say love, divine? These are just words, right? So yeah, if you could just bring a little bit of that down. Yeah, I'm going to end it here because for some reason I'm just overwhelmed right now. So this was how to do a tarot and oracle card reading in the tone of spirit, in the tone of divine, in the tone of pure love for yourself and others. And that is the tone. And to do that for yourself in your readings, but also to carry that with you in your life. And I wish you the best with that. And yeah, so this was the best I could do to cover this whole thing. And you see how it's a lot to cover, and it does get very emotional because there is a truth in this, and it leads me to I know I do videos for this channel, right? But there's a level of this that is just the core of me that is not available for, I know this is all about people to comment and people, but there's a level to this, and you have a connection that is not for anybody to comment on, or it's higher, it's deeper than that. It's beyond that. I did my best with trying to put it all in this video, but I wish you the best. And yes, you're connected with or without cards, and to definitely, that was the tone of that higher love, compassion, and to bring that down, embody that during the reading, and also just to try and stay connected to that as much as possible in your waking hours for yourself and others too, which is why I always say light working is 24/7, because the gravity of the world, it's you can hardly contain that for long, and you have to do whatever's possible. I think card reading is an amazing way to set aside time to connect to that and almost drench yourself in that so that you can hold that for as long as possible until you need it again. That's why I call those readings spirit pick-me-up readings. I know it sounds very light, but that's what it feels like to me. I need a spirit pick-me-up to contain it, to hold it till the next time. you know, and then during your waking hours, you get it fleeting, and it can lift you up and you feel guided and loved, support, backing. But we need that on the constant, however you can get it. So I wish you the best with that. And this is all for me. This is all about love, support, backing for here. That is what it has always been for me. And that's why when I started tapping in when I was a kid with Tarot and Oracle, I found, oh my God, it's giving them the alphabet, the images that I can amplify that connection even more when I need it for that love, support, backing, right? On top of what you normally already get. So I wish you the best in your waking hours, in doing your readings. Feel that love, support, backing in all the ways you can. And this has been the best that I could do with how to do a Tarot and Oracle card reading in the tone of spirit, divine, pure love for yourself and others. And I wish you the best and to feel that love, support, backing as much as possible. Doing readings and without in your life. For real, always. I wish you the best. Take care. Bye-bye.